That's the best segue. So that's what I really wanted to go. With all of this happening, I started looking again and listening for the Democrats.
I don't know how good a job the Democrats are doing in terms of don't just canvass during elections, but like for example, last year or the year before is the most important. Like early, like all 2017, you need to gather data, get points of view, so that when you're campaigning in 2018, you can use that to your advantage.
And this is funny because I've watched who showed up to say things and I watched who didn't show up and said things, because there's a swelling in the Democratic Party who says the old leadership got to get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
But they're saying it, which I was so surprised at hearing. But I didn't hear Schumer show up on any of the talking head shows. I didn't see Pelosi show up. I seen Maxine Waters show up and say, we need to impeach his ass right now, right now. And it was like,
he be going hard,
real hard. But she's the only one that really just said, let's just go for his ass. Yeah. But that's to me, listening to strategy, that's the wrong way to go, is talking impeaching, because that's what the Republicans and even Fox News is saying. So they're going to impeach him. We waiting for the Democrats to do it. No, don't give them what they want. Just support what the judicial is doing. That's what you need to do. And soon as you get the party together, if the election goes right, because I'm not confident in anything until it happens now. If it goes right, start drafting the fucking papers immediately. Because that's what those people want when they come in. Because they are tired of the old heads saying, let's be careful. You can't be careful anymore. Right. So with that said, how are y'all seeing the Democratic Party based on what you see going on right now?
Do we see them? I feel like we don't ever hear from them.
So and that's a problem.
I don't even know what their message is. I don't know who's on top. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think messaging is still the core. It's kind of like, for example, if I had to guess, if I'm not from the U.S. and I come visit the U.S., I would probably guess, all right, the Republicans are, don't really care about, don't care about the environment. Like guns, they probably, want the lower taxes. I can kind of go through their talking points are repeated loudly and consistently across the party. So just from my perspective, I just feel like, from the Democrats, they need to have their talking points and repeat them them loudly and consistently.
Consistently.
Yep. Yeah. So I can't really guess, like, okay, you guys love each other. They love everybody. You like green shit. You like weed.
Yeah, but all that comes with the message. If you go with every single thing, all right, so you got weed, right? Like, it's illegal. It's bad for you. That it doesn't help people, because that's what people think, right?
Right.
Every Republican has like a counter to things like that. Or if you say go green, electric cars,
wind farms.
Wind farms. I mean, hell, the EPA and everything Obama put in. They find all these different reasons of why you shouldn't. And then they put it onto the mainstream. I know I keep talking about Fox News, but that's how they do it.
They sell it.
They put that message out.
They sell it.
They sell it really well too.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we could talk about the justice system. The policing. They say, fuck that. Let's give the police more money.
Mm-hmm.
You keep going about guns. We need more guns. Fuck that. Give teachers guns. It's just the messaging is crazy. Mm-hmm. And we don't really have a counter for anything that they give out.
And that's, what I'm saying? That's why I love Michael Avenatti. I think with this whole, I mean, sure, to be clear, I think he's definitely self-promoting in a way, just because he's definitely going to, he's up there now. He's officially like a celebrity lawyer or whatever the title is. But, he's up there talking mad shit on a daily basis. Yeah. Michael Cohen is gonna have to. Oh man, it's crazy. He's gonna have to go to court, answer for his crimes. Mm-hmm. We're definitely gonna win this case. And let me tell you, you just be.
Some bold shit, right?
Yeah, just hold on. Can I pause you real quick? Hold on. So, do you see him as the president? Do you like that?
So check this out. You went to his Twitter, right? You went to his Twitter. Michael Avenatti posted talking points of his views on education infrastructure. I'm like,
shit. Okay, there it is. He found that void. Wow. That's what it is.
I mean, the void is there though.
Yeah, no, it's wide open.
Like you need. There's no attack dog on the left.
No. Let me go ahead and hit follow. Let me see what he's talking about.
So you're looking next year. Wow, you're looking next year for all the candidates have to come out. Yeah, they have to come out. So at the beginning of the year, as soon as this November kicks in, then it's like, okay, go to your corners, and then you got to come out swinging. Because then you got to know who is going to swing the hardest. Because you're probably going to have about 15 goddamn people running for president.
True. Yeah, it's going to be really crowded. Yeah.
It's going to be really crowded.
Now's the time, though. Now, like right now is the perfect time. Like, because forget just all the shit going on with Trump. Honestly, kind of forget. I mean, I don't want to say forget the 2018 elections, but this is where you start ramping up for 2020. Yep. You can't wait till 2020. Nope. So it's obviously everything you're doing is all in 2019.
Yep.
So you have to like start right now. You got to get your name out there. You can't be some well, you can be a random person, but now's the time when you got to get your name out there. So it makes sense.
Maybe
if he was one of them.
I mean, but unfortunately,
you can't pop up next year.
No. What I'm saying is this is not a normal election year. This is a year of both a lot of change for the Democratic Party, so that
and the Republican.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put an asterisk by that. I'm gonna come back to that point. But in terms of Democrats, I would say, I'm trying to think of an analogy. This is so weird. I don't know if I really have one. It's kind of the only thing I can say is it's kind of like a school. So this happens in real life. I would say so. Maybe 20, 30 years ago, a lot of schools may be just mostly white, mostly this, mostly that. So the communities, the bars, the whatever cater to that. But obviously, you have students from India, Japan, China. You have more African American students, more this, more Latinos. So it's kind of like, all right, well, wait a minute. Instead of that happening over like 10, 5 years, what if that happens like over 3 years? Just for an example. So all that bullshit in the, hey guys, you want to go to Dave's, the bar? Like, fuck that. This shit sounds trash. I want to go to this. I want to go to this place. What about an Indian restaurant for the Indian? So if you're the school, you can't have just the same professors, the same shit. You got to change it. So the same shit like in real life in terms of like the politics. Mm-hmm. If the demographics are changing for both the party and the actual people in the party, I think it's easier said than done to say, okay, who's going to represent those people?
But a lot of times because of the gerrymandering, and we had this podcast already, that hasn't stopped.
That's true.
And unless there's laws put in place for it to stop,
but we already know the answer. Here's the easy solution.
What's that?
Congress passed a law. President runs 3 times. Obama comes out of retirement. He hosts in fact, Obama does a Netflix special. 3rd time's a charm. It's a stand-up comedy.
Obama doing stand-up?
Yeah, it's gonna be called 3rd Time's a Charm.
Yeah, you got a lot of black writers. You got Chris Rock, Chappelle.
Throw some jokes out there. Talk about Trump, and he wins. That's the easy solution. Is it probable? No. So the second solution is we have to have good candidates. So that's hard. I don't have.
That's very hard. That's very hard. That's where the work starts.
Yeah, I don't have a solution. That's my easy button. Call Obama.
I mean, I would like that.
No, we can't keep calling on the same dude. And again, he may be charismatic, but he don't give a damn. He's about the banks, dude. He's about that cash flowing throughout the world. That's Obama. Why you bullshitting? We need the new faces to say stop being bitches. Stop being bitches.
Michael
and push
Avenatti.
these Republicans around.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Michael Avenatti may have raised a couple of spots. Then he might be top 10, like literally 10 or 11.
Here's the problem with him, though.
What?
All right, so he started out with the porn star, right? And I know, but he's a lawyer, so I get that. He's a lawyer. He's defending her. I get that. My problem with him starting out, because I'm an understanding dude. I'm open minded. You know, the problem is he was on every network, every channel.
Yeah,
he was taking every request to talk the porn star. You know what I'm saying? And he was defending her constantly.
Let me play devil's advocate, though.
But that was his job.
No, not yet. Because my point is, I hear you. I'm not even okay. So I'm playing devil's advocate. I get that, but my only problem with him is that I need more substance from him. So when you just said that, follow his Twitter because he's saying a lot more, that's what I need to hear. That's what I need to see. But it needs to be more than Twitter. I need him to go out there and do exactly what he just did, but then just talk about other policies.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what goes into that. But I want if I hire a lawyer, if he goes on TV defending me, now I'll just say this: I remember his talking points being like, "Look, Donald Trump is lying. Tell the truth. This is slander." He was trying to argue the point, but not necessarily saying, "Hey, buy our DVD, big titties too, whatever." He was just arguing. He wasn't doing the point.
I mean, she probably
portables in. You gotta get portables in, Jazz.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to get a plug in for for a DVD box set. He was like, "Look, they fucked in some time. He's lying about it. That's bullshit." And I think the non-disclosure agreement was done in a fucked up way. And I just want to. That's what I'm selling. I'm selling the idea of the president, lying and bullshit on this. Now that said, he tweets about. He does tweet about like shit in the Democratic Party, and he only has that one tweet where he does tweet his talking points on the issues. But I'm just saying, from on the opposite side, maybe Bernie Sanders, but he's not gonna. I like the fact that in terms of going toe to toe against Trump, talking wise, bullshit wise, right now, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren. Hillary, part 3.
No. That'll never happen.
She's done. She needs to shut up.
You know what? Hillary in this bitch like Thanos. She's causing the fucking Democratic Infinity War.
Just the evil motherfucker to come down and just.
Yeah, no, she already did. Her election was the Infinity War.
Yeah, that's what she killed everybody.
Yeah, she
now they trying to come back. Gotta bring back time.
You know what? Literally, niggas who voted for Obama. Most of the way became Republicans. all the voters got cut in half.
So you still had, because we talk about lawyers.
Yeah.
What's his name? Lanny Davis. That was Michael Cohen's lawyer. He went around doing the same thing for Michael Cohen. Hey, this guy wants to cooperate. You're going to see some stuff that you didn't.
Bro.
Yeah, but he's not running. But you still got to do that for your client.
But I'm saying he's not bubbling. You know what? But there's no groundswell of, man, what do you think? What do you think if he ran? Like, I don't think that when I see Michael Cohen's lawyer, I'm like, look at this old motherfucker. I wonder how much he gets paid per hour. I wonder what his billable rate is.
He already got his money. He got his shit in advance.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the same. I think with Avenatti, he's tapping into the anti-Trump thing. So it's kind of you're vocalizing.
Here's the whole with him. You're talking about Democrats. You're not talking about Republicans. He needs to actually prove that he's about genuine, policies and making things right in this world. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I hear you. You can say whatever the hell you want. It's just, all right. Fuck all that porn star shit. Fuck Trump. I hear you. That's one part that of all the shit that I hate about. Now tell me what you're gonna do about the schools. You know what I'm saying? Like So how you gonna fix this economy? How you gonna make things better? Because right now everything's kind of fucked up. Like, That's where I'm at right now. He just seems like a glorified. I mean, he's like a political Kim Kardashian. You know,
fair enough. No,
that's kind of where
he's a media whore. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. You know, I'm open-minded, so I don't judge him on a fuck him because that's what I see. It's just like that's literally what he's doing. So what are you going to do with that? Because you're going to get stuck with that, that stamp on your
Fair
forehead.
enough.
That's all.
You know, if I have a video game, 2020, my video game, I might pick him as my fighter. I think I can make it to at least the last level.
And he's gonna kick somebody's ass because that's what he does. He's a lawyer, that's what he get paid.
I'm getting to the boss level. Right. I'm getting to the I may get to the DNC, primaries at least. To the get the it's gonna be Avenatti. You know what? Avenatti versus somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Did he win? By the way, I don't even know. Did he get hit the porn star? I don't know her name. Did he get the money?
No. So remember what I said earlier.
It's a whole bunch of shit.
They can actually go to trial now because he admitted to it. They've been holding that trial until they got the evidence to say that he did pay, and now he has to, do I forgot what you call it when you got to come up and put it, and they record you saying yes, I did this, and then they can say what the charges are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but because Michael Cohen was going through his shit, they had to wait, and it was some other shit that happened. Like I'm saying, this shit is literally a movie. There's so many players, so many. But it's not even a movie; it's
a TV series. There's so much of this shit.
We on season 3 though.
Yeah, that's right.
Shit, it's just slow.
Well, one of the main characters just died. Oh shit!
Shit!
Damn, McCain. Fuck.
Well, damn.
I don't know.
Just got real.
Too soon, bro.
Too soon. Nobody's gonna be laughing at that shit in 2 weeks. Fuck both of y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anywho, yeah.
Look, I like McCain, for the record, before everybody gets bent out of shape. Just a joke, people.
I'm good with it, bro. Don't mind me. I like funny shit. Sometimes it's not very tasteful, but I'm okay with it. But no, but I just think I'm concerned with the Democrats because we just went through it. We don't even know.
Because everything. That's
anybody and everybody. We don't know. So now we're gonna have to say, here's 15 people that you got to pick through. Eric Holder showed up on, I think
81.
Yeah, he showed up and said, yeah, he's thinking about running.
Yeah, that's my dude.
Eric Holder. So what y'all think about him?
He's boring though. He's boring, but he's a good choice though.
But a choice for what though? Just to fill in?
President.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this right now. Eric Holder, I got my analogy. He's like a nice Buick.
No.
He's solid. Bro, he's solid. He's gonna retain some resale value.
Hold on, he's black. He's black, first of all. He can't be a Buick if he's black.
So what is he then?
I mean
he's a
Exactly.
He's a used Camry. How about that?
A Lincoln?
Neither of which will win the election.
A Chrysler.
Yeah, possibly. GMC.
Like a really good one, the luxury version.
One of those. No, but just strong, but you don't really need it all the time.
With the blind side assistance.
So Mike, he's a fucking hammer, nigga?
No.
He's strong, but you don't need it all the time? Like what? A fucking jack for your car when you change a tire?
That's it. God, I don't think he has enough.
Exactly. So I'll go to my original point.
He don't have enough. So you're right. He's probably a Buick. Somebody said that car's nice.
He's not a Buick though, because he's a black dude. You know what I'm saying? Like a Buick is like.
No,
like, who's that?
No, you're missing the context. You're missing the context. I'm not saying he's 40. Like I'm just saying, like.
Might know what I'm talking
about. Fuel efficient.
I'm saying, you go to your granddad's house. He's a He's like a fucking old person car.
Got a Buick? Yeah, but I don't know, Buick though. Yeah, Lincoln. You know what I mean? Like the big body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
maybe
it's not,
right.
it's not no young shit.
It's not an attractive shit. It's just a reliable shit.
Yeah, I got you.
And you know, it's a Buick because you say, "Hey, that looks nice," and then you say, "Fuck, that's a Buick,
like,
though."
You know what?
Like, I want that.
Eric Holder is really competitive for a Senate seat or governor. You know, like governor.
Yes. That's a good point. Yeah,
yeah, like a governor seat, especially.
He's Queen. Yeah, he's Queens.
But president, I don't know. No. I'm not getting to the last stage.
Hey, right. But wait, you know what's gonna happen, right? He's gonna open his mouth and he's gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Like he's gonna say some shit, and he's gonna be like, "It's gonna change your whole mind," because you never really heard him talk.
No,
you know what I mean. You never know.
Been really reserved. I don't want to say conservative. I think he's been reserved. Yeah. And to me, that's not enough in this era right now.
That's what I'm saying.
What? I mean, you're talking about, okay, if you want the mass, if you want like the majority vote, if you want to pull over like more people, you probably need somebody that's not too hard left. You need somebody that kind of gets it, you know?
Not necessarily hard left.
Are we going back to Mark Cuban? Because that sexual assault shit died down for the Mavericks. Nobody talking about this shit no more.
Hell no. That shit moved on. And the lady with the, did you hear about that? The Me Too, one of the leaders. She was sleeping with a 17-year-old boy. I was like, well, you love it.
Because one of them finally. It's like, damn.
Yeah. And then she tried to blame it on, what's that, Matthew Boat? What's the dude that goes to the different countries that committed suicide?
Oh, yeah.
Bourdain or
Bourdain,
yeah. I was like, oh no, he paid for it. This dude is dead. He can't even defend himself.
That's why she did it.
But then they pulled her tweets up and said, I don't feel right about this. Wasn't he a little too young? And now she's disappearing. You're
exactly. Like, looking like a dude. Then how dudes doing the same shit. Oh, what happened?
Yeah. Oh man, I hope she don't tell on me.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just think like if you in a position of power or whatever, like you're gonna be a piece of shit. Like if you're gonna abuse it. So I think that's the moral of the story. I was like, finally, one of them.
Well, I mean, it's real. I mean, it's not like it's only segregated to men. It's about power. It's not about sex. It's power.
So we're just talking about it in that context, just from look, obviously a lot of like just attacking the issue for what it is. Like if you're in a position of power, men for sure need to understand it. And, just understand that women have the ability to do it too. You know what I'm saying? So if a guy he says, hey, this chick was crazy, don't be afraid to speak up. So I think from that aspect, I'm like, look, I'm glad it was reported and talked about.
Yeah, and not just hid in the side and say, well, women go through some. No, you can't say be equal. And then when the same circumstance come up, there's an exception for women. Either you're going to say you're going to treat women equally, or we're going to have to say you're going to have to admit that women can be or will be treated differently.
Well, you
can't have them both.
But we've been seeing this shit with the teachers all the time. So you already know how that shit goes.
Yeah. We went through that one. Yeah, go back to the archives. We already had an episode on that. Yeah.
So you just replace the word teacher with executive, and it's the same story.
Mm-hmm. But Jesus. But we're gonna see, because after the November elections, let's see if the Democrats, and hopefully I hope this doesn't happen. There'll be more infighting to say, look, can't do that. We won't do that. Or you got to have to listen to us. And then there'll be infighting into the next year, other than saying, look, shut the fuck up. This is where we're going. Now the majority is following behind this. We got to go forward. We can't stop and make a decision.
Let me ask a question. So in any organization or movement or whatever, what's the line between being a leader, seizing the moment of, for lack of a better word, chaos, and trying to, make things calm and structured, versus being in a position of leadership and understanding, let's get my successors in place. So let's get the next era of leadership in here. I feel like the Democrats are in that spot of wanting to lead into a new era, but not being able to step down or allow new people to lead. Like it's a fine. I think there's a fine line. You know what I'm saying? Of you don't want to jump ship, but when should you jump ship? I guess.
I don't
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know
if it's
a leadership
of the party
jumping ship, because you have all of these caucuses that's in there anyway. So remember, even within there, you got the Hispanic caucus, the Black caucus, and different other things. Within those leaderships, you, as a good leader, you partner. You know, that's one of the characteristics of a good leader is how do you partner with others in order to stay in a leadership position to influence others. So who can do that? How can it be done? And if you get the right partnership, the old leaders have to walk in lock and step or just be quiet like they're doing right now. They keep trying to rub shoulders behind the scenes and said, don't let nobody know, we still doing what we want. But when it's time, we'll jump. No, you're being too conservative. You're holding back. You're too reserved on things. That's why the Republicans always have the talking points, because when they give it out, everyone takes it, and you see it on every fucking channel, and anybody who shows up from the Republican Party is reciting the same thing. And you're like, God damn, they all saying that shit. Democrats don't do that.
Yep, exactly. That's why they need somebody to step the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, it's just, but they don't know who. I wonder if sometimes these older heads, the Nancy Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer, whoever else is out there, that's the problem. I don't even know who's number 3.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have no interest in moving up. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, because you would think Chuck Schumer's, and some of these people would want to maybe be a president.
Nope. I don't think so.
But you would want them to, like that. That's like to be better, to want to build upon what they are right now, to kind of bring something more than what they're doing, and that's not what it is. It kind of feels like they're kind of complacent.
Yeah,
maybe.
And that's pretty much the way they're acting.
I like my analogies.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
motherfucker. I don't know. I just know Seinfeld was on TV for fucking ever. The motherfucker didn't make a movie until what, the B movie 20 years later. Yeah. So I'm saying, like, levels of success is so.
He didn't need to.
It's so relative. So I'm saying, for that perspective, what if for them that's their pinnacle? The issue is, their pinnacle is also someone else's glass ceiling.
Right.
So it's kind of like, that's what I'm saying. So them leading the party is also, it's kind of like, we can't do both.
In a way.
You know what I'm saying? So you either have to lead fearlessly, or you have to plan your succession. You can't really, it's hard to be a fearless leader and plan your succession at the same time.
Do you think they're leading? Do you think they have anybody under them that they are trying to sell? Because it didn't feel like Nancy Pelosi has some successor or has somebody that they're teaming with, or they're like,
and I'm saying that's the problem. So you have to do one or you have to do one or the other. I mean, I would argue that part of leading is training people up to execute the vision. So
exactly,
that's why I'm saying I feel like that's the issue with the Democrats. It's really a top-down issue, and I think what's going to happen is, as you bubble up, I mean, one or two is you see the collision happening. New people are winning seats, and as these people mature and hopefully become incumbents to at least a couple of terms, they're going to want to move up into these committees. And are these old motherfuckers who still have those seats, they're either going to retire out or something has to give.
But you vote them into those seats. They don't just assume those seats. That's the good thing. So if you get these new cats coming in and they're working together and be like, look, all we need is 2 people, those 2 old motherfuckers right there, let them know I'm not going to vote for you to be on the judicial committee if you don't vote for such and such for this. So understand it's not going to happen. They can do it. It can happen.
Maybe, but I guess.
But I've seen them. I've seen a couple of them. They haven't even won, but they already saying, if I win, I'm not going to support Nancy Pelosi as the majority. What you call it? I'm not going to do it.
The House.
Yeah.
We're like, we already been there, done that. That's what, going back to your earlier point. That's why I said like the Seinfeld shit. Like, hey, I want to be like Will Smith, and your mentor is fucking Seinfeld. Like, what's the deal? Like, nigga,
but he's highly successful at the one thing. He's not moving up anywhere else.
Yeah, like for Will Smith got, you know, I mean, he is a rapper. He has like singles. He can at least talk to you about that, movies, TV, versus, you know, like nigga,
his specialty.
Hell out my face. Yeah.
But he's done things. He has done things that was Oscar worthy. Right. So as an actor, true actor, he has done things Oscar worthy.
So that's the analogy.
He can give you that.
That's what I'm saying. So from that perspective, if you have Chuck Schumer or these other people, and it's like, you know, what is your ceiling? And, you know, just for the people behind you, what does that mean? Are you, you know,
but there's people that like the power behind the power. And I think that's the Schumers and the Pelosi's. Because when the power above them say they need something, it has to go through them. You know, those informal leaders that says, I may not be the top person, but you still got to go through me in order to get the majority done.
Man, well, you know what? Yeah. If I'm a donor, like, I don't want a fucking toll. Like, when I see your name, I'm going to just put, like, a fucking gate. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or garage. Yeah. You know, like, what do you... That's it? Like, I don't know. I get it, but I don't get it. It's just kind of like, after a certain point, you know, how long is too long?
But so I'll give you this, the other analogy. Oh, well, not analogy, a factoid. The factoid, I have two people who decided to say, I'm never moving up from this position. I'm never going to go anywhere. I'm content right here. And has been in that position, a manager, for over 30 years. There's been people fired all around him, and he's the only one that was left. There's been people that they wanted to promote him, but he was like, I don't want that responsibility. No. And he's been there for 30 years. There's another guy who's been there for 20-something years. He should have been fired a long time ago, but he does just enough to keep him in the position that they need, but not promote him. So he's in that little lull that said, I can't get too much because I'm not even doing that good of a job of where I'm at. So there's people like that, which is weird, I think, because of the type of person I am. But I've seen those people, so I have to accept that there's people out there like that.
That's a great anecdote. I accept that, but I think that you always find that shit at work. But when this is the U.S. Senate and the House we're talking about,
that's work.
You should be like, look, you need to get your ass up out of here. You're gonna have annual reviews or something. So some same thing, man. Look, you ain't done shit since 2004. So you know what?
That's voting.
Yeah, but that's voting. Exactly.
But if I don't live in California, then, or if the lines are set up in her district in such a way that, so you know, like, what do? I guess all you do is just tell the party, you need to get ass up out of here. But I just, her, why not just have the decency to, I had a good run.
Nope.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
So,
Ginobili.
Eric, remember, you said this months ago. We had a discussion back and forth, and you was telling me or telling us, no, they don't want to lose their position. They're really going to be conservative and reserved because they don't want to lose their position. It's about, I have this, and this is what I want, and this is what I have, and I got some side shit going, and this is the perfect place to be.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's kind of like the complacency. I think they want to pass some policies, some laws, some bills, whatever. I think they have their own agendas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're getting comfortable. And then I think another thing that we're probably not talking about is the fact that the Senate seat is what? It's like 6 years, right? To hold a Senate term. So we're talking about an overlap from their time under Obama, too. So... And I think even just the two that we were talking about, Schumer and Pelosi, the quote unquote leaders of the Democrats in the Senate, it kind of makes me wonder if, I'm sorry, who's the leader of the House or the leader of the minority right now?
You talking about Paul Ryan?
No, I'm sorry, the Democrats.
The minority.
Democrats.
Yeah.
Oh, the minority one?
I forget. Yeah. But we'll just talk about the Senate. So I wonder if there's that complacency that's just kind of built in right now, where it's that overlap, and we're just now hitting that final term, where now 6 months is in, they're 2 years into. They were 2 years into Trump, and then they did their 4 under Obama, where now it's like, all right, now is the time where they need to get back to the core and actually win a Senate seat. You know what I'm saying? And now we're actually finally seeing it. Like, oh, wow, okay, these people were just sitting in these seats, wasting the space. And it's exactly what you were saying. Like we're just now seeing it for what it's always been, or what it's been for a while, where these motherfuckers, they aren't actually speaking for us, you know?
Right.
And the problem is that we're catching it late, and we didn't build up the Democratic Party or Democratic candidates all these years. So now we're kind of scrambling, and now we're crossing our fingers, hoping that somebody can jump in and do something. The fear that I have is honest. It's not a fear, but I actually think they're just going to win again. You know, like Pelosi's going to win again, and
because of her, you know,
her name, because
same old.
Yeah,
same old shit. Yeah. I mean, unless I don't know, I don't see anything happening where it's like, what, I don't know. I forget the woman's name, Alex something from Queens.
Oh, New York.
She won in New York. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen again. I mean, that'd be great, but to win those seats. But I don't know, man. It's the whole thing is just kind of like, we're just kind of hoping that we can get some new ideas, because I think we're pretty convinced now that the same old shit just ain't really working.
It's not going to work. And Chuck Schumer is the minority senator.
Okay.
He's the senator. And Pelosi is the House.
Okay, that's right.
So it's split between them two, and Schumer ain't going anywhere because he got elected in 2017 or reelected.
Oh,
so he's there for a minute.
Okay,
but I think the Pelosi's and all, it's more so she can keep her seat. We just need her not to be the majority leader.
Right.
So if y'all want her elected, that's fine. But the Congress people need to say, you're not our leader anymore. We can't go with the old way of thinking. This is who's going to step up into there. Mm-hmm. So I think that's our true opportunity, as opposed to getting them totally out. Because sooner or later, when they don't have that power, they're going to get out on their own. Because they want that power. They don't just want to be the power of a congressman or congresswoman. They want the power as the minority or majority leader. And now that she's possibly going to get that opportunity, she's going to fight for that. But you may not have enough people.
She had at least one term underneath the Democratic president.
Oh, yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
So she had a historic term. So it's kind of like, get your, don't be the Hillary of the House.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
just
they don't want to give that
repeat.
Up.
What about what's his name? Adam Schiff.
People like him.
He's like he was like the leader of like the Security Council or the I forget what it is.
Yeah, I like him. He's dope.
Yeah. I like what he said. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we sit here, we could talk about who our ideal person would be: young, minority, black, Hispanic, whatever. But I mean, even if it's just not that I'm talking like I'm a racist or whatever, but if it was a white dude that's woke, that understands, like.
But if they're not under 50, what's the point? They're Buicks.
Okay. So he's a Buick, just like Eric Holder. Is that what you're saying?
But he's in
Adam Schiff.
But he's in the House.
Go ahead.
I'll accept that in the House. He better not step out of that trying to be the president, though.
Can he be a senator?
You don't need no Buicks at the goddamn presidential.
Can he be a senator, though? I mean, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that.
Yeah. I think he
has a shot.
Yeah, he has a shot. I think.
Right, so, hold on. So, so what if that was the option that we had? Let's fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
What if that's what America is voting for? We want that Obama thing. We got spoiled. We got the perfect candidate in 2008. Was it 8
at the perfect time too. At the perfect time.
Right.
The timing was perfect.
And then you know, the reality is we got that extreme, and now we got the complete opposite extreme with Trump. To the point that we kind of had to get back down to earth, and we just got to get a white dude that's just, you know, it's what we, you know, it looks like all the other presidents we've ever had, but he gets it, you know, he gets it. He just gets it. But he's boring as fuck.
I want to play devil's advocate again.
Okay.
So if you go to any other country, let's say another country elected a reality star who's may or may not be, you know, sexually assaulting people, said he finds his daughter attractive, banged a porn star when his wife was pregnant or just had a kid, married multiple times, but has the support of the country's evangelicals. There's a bunch of other shit. Oh yeah, and may or may not have colluded with another nation state to impact the election. So if you're looking at that like, oh wow, look at this country, you know, look at whatever, they, you know, they're gonna vote him out, right?
They suck.
And then you read the stories. Okay, what the country, the opposite party, you know, they haven't picked a woman yet. So what are they waiting on? What's going on? They're having infighting issues. Oh, so you know, the what I'm saying is, this shit to me is on one hand absurd but makes sense, because changing of the guard is always messy, but the possibility that there's nobody else to really challenge him, to me, seems crazy. Now, the context is the fact that, you know, Trump voters, the approval rating hasn't gone down. So,
nope, not at all.
To me, it's crazy, but it makes sense. Because to me, any other country on the world, you'd be like, well, obviously, anyone, some teenager could run against the guy and win. I want to, end the war. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Pizza for everyone.
Yeah, you know, some 12th grader. Oh, he can do it. So I'm torn, because this is absurd, but the fact that we haven't found anyone, I think, really speaks to what it takes to win. Not really the candidates available, kind of like Eric Holder 10 years ago, 20 years ago, perfect candidate. But
candidate. Yep.
But to run against Trump, it's like, it's an absurd time, because like, okay, well, why hasn't America found someone to run against Trump? And I'm like, how would I answer that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. Well, first of all, you're right. Everything you said, that you're right. So if Eric Holder, let's just fast forward a little bit. So if Eric Holder was running, I don't think he would do the same. He would run into the same issues that Hillary did. So I feel like Hillary was a flawed candidate. Like, she actually didn't go to those states that she lost to. Like, she didn't go, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, she didn't go to like Minnesota, she didn't go to Wisconsin, and I think she didn't go to Pennsylvania. Like, she didn't go to those states
that she needed.
That she needed. I mean, I'm pretty sure she went to Ohio or Iowa. Yeah. But I don't, like, it was Florida. The ones that she literally lost. Yeah, Michigan was the other she didn't go to. You got to go to those states, and that's what Obama went to. Obama went everywhere, like literally everywhere, except I think it was like Alaska.
But I don't think that hurt her. That hurt her percentage-wise. It wasn't the smoking gun. She has too much baggage. She had too much baggage walking into there. Yes. And she's a woman. So you got women that's not going to vote for women, and you got men that won't vote for a woman.
I agree with that.
She had then all of this stuff about the Clintons and her husband. People hold on to things like that forever. Should they? Fuck no. Look at what the person is doing. Well, if a person made sure they had the cure for cancer, but he was a pedophile, would you vote for him? What the fuck?
I think you're proving my point, though. That's what I'm saying. I feel like she was a flawed candidate.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. What I wanted to put in is she was flawed on too many levels.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Too many. So she had so much against her, and she still almost won. Yeah,
I feel look at the flawedness against Trump. Like,
dude, people wanted that.
Well, we still got some problems in this country, so
yeah, and I don't think that's going to change.
His numbers were going to be up there.
That was a slow burn, dude.
Like, bro,
thanks to
he was a joke, and then it was like, wait a minute, this nigga's winning.
Yeah, because remember when they had like 15 people and they was pointing at him and like, why is he here?
Get your then ass it was out 8, here.
And he was still here. Then it was 4 and he was still there. And they were like, whoa.
Yeah,
this motherfucker might win.
Yeah,
it felt like I was watching some football game and he was getting an ass whoop, and it's just like, well, them niggas,
he's still there.
They got numbers, so
bro, that shit was like, they was punk. They was talking shit. Oh wow, I have to tune into the Apprentice. LOL.
You're fired.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, bro.
So, and I wanted to kind of end it more so with the Democrats, because we can point at what's going on with Trump. If they don't get him convicted, if they don't go to the Supreme Court and say you should be convicting a sitting president, we're gonna go into the next election cycle, and who the fuck is gonna step up enough to beat him?
Michael,
because he's gonna go Holder for even though we say he won't be the right person, he doesn't have anything we know of that he can attack other than his association with Obama. So everything will be based on Obama.
No, they're gonna get
actually
him on the
that's okay
on the Fast and Furious shit. That's like the only thing I can point to. That little gun shit back in the day. Maybe right, some of the legal shit with the drone program, but you're right. He has a good record.
It's going to be everything, though. They're going to be like, he's black, Obama, period.
Yep.
That's how they're going to do it.
Do you want another Obama? They trying to put more black people in our country. This isn't their country. And then you got all the races or the people who feel that, why are black people getting the good jobs, good white jobs? Because the presidency is a good white job. It's not a black person's job.
Oh, man.
Now, I'll say this, though. I know I'm jumping out there, but I really think he would still win. I really think he would. I think he still would. Like, it's just the numbers would just scare the shit out of us. No, I mean, okay. Well, maybe I'm thinking in the past, like if he was Hillary in that last election,
he would have been fine.
I feel like he would have won it.
He would have been fine.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking that way. And now we built so much momentum that now it's almost like we have to readjust with now with Trump in office, and then they actually think he's doing great. That kind of changes everything. Now you have to kind of prove that, no, he actually didn't do great.
Right. And it's showing.
The more great that you think that he did, you think that Obama didn't do great. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
But that was the purpose. The purpose of when he got in was to reverse any and everything that Obama accomplished.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to do it.
Which is fucking up our country.
Exactly.
But, you got these Fox News, you got these stories, you think it's actually okay now. And it's like, nah, man, you're putting kids in cages and shit.
No, we're not. Well, that wasn't our policy. That was Obama's policy. And then you kind of like, dude, but you said it wasn't. That's not the point. And then they move on.
And then it's like, look at this car crash.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, there's another one over there. And the dumpster's on fire.
Fucking idiots.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the momentum, honestly, is with women running. I think truly that's the momentum. But what woman will break away that can stand in front of everyone and say,
Maxine Waters?
No. Wow. Be another revolt. No, but I think that's where the momentum is. So
Mike,
go ahead.
You know, it'd be some bullshit. What if Omarosa jumps in and starts winning?
She'll be Republican. I feel it.
I'm saying, what if she beats him with some bullshit?
Wow.
Well, she's black and she's a woman.
But she rolled with the Republicans. So the Republicans will wrap their arms around anyone that makes them look good.
Yeah, but them white nationalists, they're not gonna
let that go too far. Right. Yeah.
And they're in office too? Like,
What you said, they're in office?
Hidden? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think they're hitting that much.
Say that louder.
I'll be worried for her,
Oh, oof.
Yeah. Oof.
I mean, look, I don't know. I think she drops a little tape, a video here and there. PP tape. She's in there.
Russia got that. That's Putin.
So if he gets convicted, that's what me and my wife was talking about. If he gets convicted, I think the Russians will start leaking shit. No.
Oh, I see what you did.
Pun intended.
Yeah. I missed that. My fault. Yeah.
Should show up to the press conference. So Donald, which R. Kelly album is your favorite?
Didn't start playing the music and be like, what? So, high notes. What are the anything that on the high notes that we can end with?
The positives.
Positive. Yeah.
Well, shit. It was a bad week. This is a bad week.
Well, this is a bad week. Well, actually, it was a good week because it was a bad week.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
It was a good week because it was a bad week. Because a lot of good stuff a lot of bad stuff came out that we knew, but now legally people are being held accountable.
A lot of shit came to the surface that exploded behind the scenes. But yes, yeah. No, I hope a lot of shit.
Catholic shit, yeah. The
Pennsylvania
God. Shit.
I forgot about that. 300 priests and over 1,000 people got molested.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's some sick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even crazy. That's just sick that you would continue to know that it's going on and just move them around and put other children in jeopardy in that way. And the Catholic Church is saying, well, let's just forgive.
Yeah.
Well, every time you find this stuff up, the forgiving part, you still got a system that's allowing this to continue. Right. That's where you need to start. The hell with the forgiving. Let's do the correction. You know what I mean?
See, that system is the problem. That's the system that's happening everywhere. Like it's just this sense of entitlement and there's just so much going on that people are just looking the other way, and it's like this inside fraternity where it's just like, oh, there's nothing happening. There's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And they have all these crimes happening. I mean, it's not only just there. I know I keep bringing up football, but
Ohio State, bro.
Ohio State, there's Penn State shit that happened, and the Maryland thing that's going on. I mean,
Michigan State,
yeah. It's just like people, just a lot of shit happening. Everybody's like, oh, it's because it's about the money, or it's about just it's again. I keep saying it, but it's like the fraternity and the side, and everybody's either complacent or they just like, look, I'm just trying to keep my job, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, but some of the job is about the prestige. Hey, look, I'm part of this.
Look, hey, if someone at my job is like, hey, I be messing with the kids. Like, I'm not messing with kids. What? I'm out. What are you talking?
I'm not even calling the police. I'm calling the FBI on your ass. Because I know the police are probably hide that shit under the table.
No. You're looking at it wrong. No, that person, imagine that person saying it is your boss. That's how it works.
I'm also leaving the job. Right.
But that's the problem. You can't leave. You got to report them. That's what's happening. You got to say something. That's how this shit keeps going.
Yeah. So so I agree with you. You're right, E. It's not about just like, man, let me get away from this environment. No, I got to tell. I got to tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On my way out or while I'm here. Because when it goes down, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, I got another job. What happened over there?
Exactly.
Watch the news.
Yeah. It's like that, the girl, the Silicon Valley thing. It's an old story. When the girl outed, Uber. And they were saying, they were talking about the whole,
what went on in there, in the whole the culture and everything. But she had to wait till she was gone before she put it out there, though.
Yeah, at least she says something. Yeah. But somebody had to find the blog or something in order to out it. But yeah, I mean that's how it is. It's a power trip, man. They the people doing the shit are at the top.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally seeing it right now with like people like Trump.
Power. But it's the power.
All of it's power. Yeah.
So the only other thing, since you mentioned that, was the young white girl from Brooklyn, Iowa, that was killed by the illegal immigrant. That they put that all around just to say, told you, we need to get them out of here.
Yeah.
And they don't even know why.
first start, that it's a terrible story. You know what I mean? Just the whole thing. But I couldn't help but think this is going to be all over Fox News. Yep. Trump's going to use that in West Virginia because that's where he's always at.
Yep.
West Virginia or in deep Pennsylvania with steel nation.
Cold.
And he's going to talk about how these immigrants, these aliens from Mexico are coming in,
raping and killing
up our country. Yeah, the criminals. I mean, it was just like, and if I remember right, and I hate to say if I'm getting it wrong, but I'm pretty sure either it was their family or a friend was saying that it's not the fact that he was an illegal. Anybody could do this kind of thing, It has nothing to do with the fact that they weren't from this country. It's just like that's not what we should be focusing on.
Yeah, it was a criminal act. Yeah. And I just think even when they tried to talk to him, it was almost like it wasn't even clear why he did it.
Yeah. Because that sounds like that California story with the dude that had the gun that was sitting under his chair or some weird shit. You know what I'm talking about? There was that story that the white girl that got shot and killed in California by an illegal immigrant, and he didn't speak any English, and he was a criminal that was in the country wrongfully, and he had no idea how they even explained what happened because he just didn't understand, and it made me just wonder this is the paranoid or the me making up stories and shit.
Conspiracy, right?
Yeah. But anyway, it was just weird because it was the story had so many random I don't know, it just didn't make any sense, the whole thing. But I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm just simply saying it's wide open for somebody like a Trump, Republican to jump in and
politicize it. Look. And that's what he did. And then the Madden game killer that just recently happened. Back in Florida again. Florida has a lot of these random shootings going on, which is crazy. But anywho, we got away from all of the good stuff and just added more.
We did. Yeah.
This is America.
This is America. Yeah.
So, any last thoughts, Chaz?
Nah, I'm just kind of at this point, I'm just seeing what's happening. We'll see with this investigation and all. I'll do a quick plug for Twitter. Twitter definitely been a great news source on my end. So, fucked in the. Oh, go ahead.
What's your Twitter handle?
Let me plug the social media. Yeah, so follow me, Chaz M Jenkins. It's pretty easy. So at Chaz M Jenkins. I be tweeting, but not too much. I just shoot a tweet here and there. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it. I don't have anything profound to say. No analogies.
I think
it's fucked up.
You had some good stuff. You had them earlier, so we're good with it.
No, I don't. I mean, it's. I just hope something comes out of this whole Cohen, all these investigations. Hopefully, Mueller comes out with some shit. Something new.
Finally,
yeah. But I mean, we'll see. It's just this whole investigation has been going on for a while. I lost, not that I lost interest, but I lost faith. So I'm actually kind of hopeful now that maybe something happens.
So I have to agree with you because my faith was really shaken because there was so much stuff that was coming out that Trump just seems untouchable. And I was like, and Mueller doesn't say anything. So I was very frustrated by this. I was like almost livid at times. And if this was Obama, what would happen? And then he went back to Clinton and all of these Republicans were standing up saying, we can't have a person in power like that. And we seen this a year ago and they didn't do anything. And I was just so glad that to see at least a portion of the government saw that there was a need to do something. And Mueller was smart enough to say, I can't hold it all to myself. This is what the justice system is for. Let me get them to validate what I'm doing. And if they move forward, it's them moving forward. You can't blame it all on me, because these are criminal acts outside of the Russian investigation. And he said, why focus on one when we can get them on 100? And I gotta appreciate that. So I'm hopeful, but you know what? I can't be confident, because I've seen what confidence can do in the country we live in. So, anywho, well, I appreciate it, guys. Good conversation. We had a lot to catch up on. But anywho, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next time on Repo Rethink